Okay, is it rolling? It is. Okay, hey! If you've always wanted to be a YouTuber, but you struggle with staying consistent, with growing your channel, or you just don't know what to do to keep your channel going and growing, then you're in the right place, because I'm going to be going through my own personal YouTube roadmap that will lead you to growing your YouTube channel steadily and, I don't know, reaping the benefits of it. This is going to be my own personal experience and how I was able to get 7,000 subscribers within 4 months. And hopefully, if you apply all of these steps in order and you're consistent with it, you're able to steadily grow your channel. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Chrissy Walker. I help small content creators make better content, get more subscribers, and make more money online. If you like how that sounds, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel, and let's be friends. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you want an actual digital or physical copy of my YouTube growth roadmap, I actually have it available for free in the description below. You can check that out and download it, print it out, whatever you want. But as long as you're consistent with following that roadmap, you should be able to see steady growth with your YouTube channel. Step number 1 is to pick a good video topic. Essentially, you want to be sure that your video topic has to do with the category or the niche of your channel. Because when you create a video and your viewers see it and they decide to subscribe to you, they're subscribing to you for a reason. They're subscribing to you because of the context of the video. So for example, if you are creating a video on how to bake and your viewer sees that, they like it and they subscribe, they're going to expect more recipes from you, more baking videos, more cooking videos, anything that has to do with food or maybe kitchen wise. That's why they're subscribed to you now, because you made good content around that and now they want to see more of it. So be sure that whatever niche or whatever video topic that you choose, it's something that will be sustainable for you in the future, so you can make basically more content around that topic. You want to be sure that it's something that you like or something that you find passion in, something that you're proficient at, so that it is sustainable moving forward. And you also want to be sure that it's something that your ideal viewer actually wants to see. If you're making a video based off of just like what you want to post and you're not really doing research on what people actually want to see, it can actually prevent you from growing because you're not getting eyes or clicks on your videos, and it's going to translate to YouTube that your videos aren't really likable and it's not going to push it out to more people. So be sure that whatever video topic you choose is something that you like, also that your viewers wants to see, and that's something that's related to your channel category or topic or niche that is sustainable for you in the long run. Step number 2 is to write out your script or outline. It's really imperative that you write an outline of some sort, even if it's just bullet points. Even word by word scripts are fine as well, but it's really important that you get this done because it can speed up the process of your video production. So for example, if you go into a presentation at school and you're not prepared, you don't have all your ducks aligned in a row and you don't have a presentation, you're kind of just up there impromptu, you're going to mess up a lot. And because you're messing up a lot, you're making your presentation longer than it needs to be. And then your audience is going to be really confused about what you're trying to talk about because you might not be talking in an organized fashion. And so it's just going to be a very messy presentation. Whereas if you've created a slideshow and you've maybe even practiced your presentation, it makes it a lot smoother and a lot easier and tighten it when you're actually presenting in front of everyone. So when you are filming, a script is exactly what that is. It's basically a plan. It's something that helps you prepare for what to say in your videos. And so while you're filming, it's easier for you to just talk about what you need to talk about, doing it in an orderly fashion. And then when you upload this into your computer and you start editing it, everything was already in order. And all you have to do is trim out all of the fluff, trim out everything that is not needed in your video, and making it as tight as possible. So having an outline is extremely important in this sense. And also, if you've failed to plan, you've planned to fail. So you want to have an outline because this is basically essentially your plan. It's your guide, it's your roadmap for that video. And it makes the entire process a lot more smooth when you have an actual script in hand. Now, you don't have to write it word for word. You definitely do not. You can actually just write bullet points and make it as simple as possible. When you are writing your script around the topic that you choose, you also want to be sure that there's only one objective to your video. You don't want to have multiple things and multiple reasons why people should watch your video. You want to have one objective. So for example, let's go back to the cake example. How to bake a cake. I'm not going to make a video on how to bake a cake, a pizza, and a steak follow these recipes with me in my video. Those are too many objectives. You want to be sure these can actually be 3 separate videos. How to bake a cake can be one, how to make a pizza can be one, and how to make a steak, it can be a separate one. You have content for days, but you don't want to have all in one video. You want to have one objective, because people are going to click on your video for a specific objective. You want to make sure that your script aligns with that objective and that there's basically a beginning, middle, and end to it. So you hook your audience, you get them captivated, and you convince them pretty much to watch the rest of your video. The content is basically all of the major points. So if it's a step-by-step process, or if you're giving tips, or you are telling a story, the content is the middle part. And then the end is you basically give the conclusion of your objective or the purpose of your video, and then you move on to your next video. So having a script is going to be so useful for you, and make sure that you only have one objective to your video, not multiple. Step number 3 is to film. This one is a no-brainer. You have to film, otherwise you won't have anything to put. I have dedicated film days, and what happens during these film days are a few things. One is I prepare my settings. So I make sure all of my batteries are charged. I make sure that I have my iPad ready so I can have my script out in front of me. I make sure that I have my mics charged and everything is set up where I want it to be. For example, I had placed this tripod here, I placed my lighting kit over there, turn on all my lights, and I make sure that my setting is ready for me to film, so that when I'm done getting ready, I can easily transition into filming. So preparation is key to making it a seamless and smooth process. And then when you're filming, all you do is utilize your outline or your script, which is why it's so important to have, because it makes it so much easier to kind of just get things out of the way or get your filming out of the way so that you can move on to the next step. But when you film, you're going to film basically your entire video. And if you're doing talking head videos like I am right now, you're going to have basically 2 separate types of filming. So there is your main footage filming. So this is your A-roll. And then you want to film B-roll. So B-roll is basically those cutaways to different scenes that people involve in their videos. So for example, if I'm talking about recording with my tripod, I could put in a cutaway of my tripod, or maybe a different angle of me filming myself. Instead of just sitting here and having you watch me the entire time, I'm going to include cutaways to scenes of me basically reenacting what I'm talking about. This helps with visual storytelling and keeping your viewers captivated or as engaged as possible. Sitting here watching someone talk is not always the most entertaining. So having B-roll of you reenacting what you're talking about helps with keeping your viewer entertained. You can also use stock videos. You don't have to just use B-roll. But when you film, you want to keep in mind you have the opportunity to film not just your A-roll, but also your B-roll, because you're already ready. All you have to do is either grab your phone and then record yourself at different angles, or when you're done filming your A-roll, you're going to take your camera while it's already positioned, and then you can just go to different places in your home or outside and just find different locations for you to record and reenact certain parts of your video. And then when you're editing, it makes it so much easier. A bonus tip for this step is on your filming days, don't forget to take photos of yourself for your thumbnails. And then when you create your thumbnails, it'll be easier for you to just kind of grab the photos and you can import it into Canva and then create your thumbnail from there. Step number 4 is to edit your video and your thumbnail. So when you import all of your footage into your computer, you're going to import it into your editing software, which I personally use CapCut because it's free and it's so intuitive and user-friendly. But you're going to edit everything, and I actually break down my editing days into 2 different days. I first start with trimming out all of the fluff, all of the repetitiveness and the pauses and the ums and all the stuff that I don't want in my video, I take out. And then on the second day of my editing, this is where all the fun happens. This is what I call the sprinkle step in my production process. This is pretty much where I will add like zooms, transitions, I will add sound effects, music, all of the cool things. And this day is my favorite because it's creative, it's fun, as opposed to day number 1 of editing. I don't find it very fun. I find it very mundane and I get really frustrated with it. But I love my day 2 editing days because you can have so much fun with it. But during your editing days, you want to basically have your own structure with it, and it'll make it easier for you to create a system of editing. So for example, for me, I have this process of editing called PEMDAS. And if you know mathematically what that means parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. And that's how I remember my own process, because I took that and I created my own acronym. And so with PEMDAS, it's PEMDAS. That is, I first put all of my footage in order in my editing timeline. I extract all of the fluff, all of the stuff that I don't want, anything repetitive, all the and all the stuff that I don't want. Then I add in my major points. So that's where I will add in my title pages of my major points and make sure that it's in the appropriate position or appropriate timestamp in my video. Then I drop B-roll or stock video every 60 seconds or about every 60 seconds. Then I add text in between. So I fill in any gaps with no visual changes by adding in text and trying to just make sure that there's consistency with like changes in the view of my video. And then the last one is sprinkle sprinkle, which is where I will add all the cherry on top, all the toppings of my ice cream, which is like the zooms and the transitions and effects and all the fun stuff. And so that's my process of filming and editing, and you can definitely use it for your own, but create a system that will make editing a lot faster for you. And your outline is the starting point. Your script / outline is what you're going to use to make sure your edits or your video is in order and it makes sense and everything is in the right places and all this stuff. Step number 5 is to upload your video. Now, it's not just uploading your video that's important, but it's all of the small little details that make it really important for you to potentially get more eyes on your video. So what's really important is that you have a keyword focused title. And what that means is if someone were to search up a specific keyword on YouTube, you want your video to pop up for that. So for example, how to bake a cake. I would want my video to pop up under that if my video is about how to bake a cake. And so you want to make sure that you choose a very strong keyword that you can put into your title and then make your title around that. So how to bake a cake is probably a very popular searched phrase. And so I can add that to my title and then I can add in a little bit more just to kind of zhuzh it up. So for example, I could put how to bake a cake in 4 easy steps, or how to bake a cake really fast, or how to bake a cake, only 5 ingredients. So that little bit of fluff at the end that I'm adding is adding interest to my title so that people can see that there's something, one, that makes me stand out from other creators or other videos and why it makes my video better, or 2, making it clickbaity, but not clickbaity, but clickbaity, if that makes sense. As long as you're holding your content true to your title, then it's not really clickbait, but you want it to be like clickbaity, I guess. Another thing that's really important is to figure out your tags and figure out a few key phrases and keywords that you can add into your description. So if you write in a paragraph to your description, make it around your keywords or key phrases. And sometimes the sentences aren't going to make complete sense because your keywords don't make sense, but the point is to get the keywords in there and trying to help your video rank for specific keywords. Then you also add separate keywords under the tags feature when you're uploading. So after you've uploaded everything, you obviously want to add in your thumbnail. And so you will submit your thumbnail after you've edited it, and then you're going to publish your video and then you're done. Step number 6 is to review your analytics. So I typically will check my analytics after a few days, but I always like to check it specifically 7 days after its upload to see what kind of information it gathered and whether or not I need to fix something moving forward, which 99% of the time, there's always something you can improve on. So if I need to improve on my thumbnails, or if I need to improve on my titles, or if I need to improve on the video topic, I review my analytics and I try to identify what can I do to make my next video better. So if my click-through rate is under 5%, that tells me that I either need to pick a better topic, or I need to make a better thumbnail, or I need to pick a better title. When I view my average view percentage, I see where people typically drop off. And if they drop off at a certain point in my video, then I know that something happened to cause them to drop off, or my video got boring, and I have to watch through that part of the video to see what was the disconnect that caused a lot of people to hop off of my video. There's also going to be peaks in my videos when I review it, and that tells me that this could be a good part for me to create a separate video on, depending on if there is like a bunch of information there that's going to be useful for creating another video. So for example, in one of my videos, I had a peak at a point where I was talking about phone settings for best quality videos, and that could be a separate video itself. And so I could take that idea and run with it because people definitely repeated that part of the video to rewatch it. They were interested in it, or they went back to it to write down notes or whatever. That's a key indicator that that could be a good video to create. So that is my 6-step process. If you want the free YouTube growth roadmap that includes my 6-step process, you can go ahead and download it for free in the link down below. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and you're more than welcome to click on the video on the screen, and I will see you there. Bye.